I always wanted to know the answer to this exact question since I started my own journey on self-improvement. Like, am I allowed to date? I am able to pull some girls right now and maybe I could even try, but I think, yeah bro, the grind. I think the grind is much more important, right? I have to get my money up, I have to build a better physique, right guys? Yeah bro, the girls ain't shit, fuck them hoes. I don't care about the girls anyway. You do. You do. Bro, be honest. Don't lie to yourself right now.
Why the fuck you lie?
Like, of course you want to have a girlfriend because you're horny as fuck. I know that. We all are. And it's a day and night difference when you actually have a woman by your side that is a pure positive in your life rather than a detriment. Because on one hand, yeah, you can just date to get laid and to fuck and to get the validation of being with this girl, but that you don't even love, that you don't even truly love nor even care about. You can be with her, but like, even though you don't love her, so what is the point? I don't know. But just imagine if we switch things up just for a minute, right? Imagine if you started dating not for the validation, not for sex. If you started dating to love. If you just for a minute focused on not fucking the other person, rather loving the other person. You'd started dating to love others, to be authentic, to be yourself, to not play this role of being some alpha male or just, you know, this fuckboy personality person. Bro, it's fucking stupid. Bro, it's dumb. It's not by being this, it's by being you. And to, by extension, attract the right type of women into your life. To find yourself a good girl that has family values, is caring, is loving, is not degenerate, doesn't go on parties every weekend, and that can genuinely become the mother of your future children. You know, finding yourself a girl that you don't have to argue with every weekend just because tonight I want to go out and party with the girls. Like, bro, come on now. I know what you're trying to do. Like the girl who genuinely you can trust with all of your heart because you know that she won't cheat. How much better is that? Ask yourself this right now. How much better is that to be in a healthy, long-term relationship? I'm not talking about no one-night stand type of bullshit. I'm talking about real true love, creating a relationship for the purpose, for the sole purpose of making it a family where you are the one providing for your wife. How much better is that? So I guess that pretty much clears up the whole question of can I date on self-improvement? The answer for that is yes, completely. Personally, I think it is even quite necessary for your full character development, right? Just make sure that you're dating the girl who is genuine, has a kind heart, that is feminine, and just overall actually wifey material. Maybe if you're just brain dead and all you can think about is ejaculation and all you want to do is lose your V card or just get laid once again, then I don't care, bro, go for it if you want. But personally, bro, no matter how desperate I could ever be, I'm not doing no one night stand bullshit. I'm just not the type of person, like, sorry. I think that this shit is just downright disgusting. So, as a teenage god of self-improvement myself, I should genuinely slap you in your fucking face if you still date hoes, if you still date just bitches. And I'm not talking about good women here. I'm talking about all of the degenerate women in the world, right? And by the way, sorry for the language here, but I just really want you to understand what I have on my mind right now. So that's the question. Another question which most of you boys on self-improvement really like to ask other creators is, but Marcel, what if I don't attract no women right now? What if no woman is into me right now? Then don't stress over it, bro. Just don't date for a while. Improve your looks and your charisma, and you will see that if you dedicate enough time into it, you will find yourself a good girl. That's exactly what happened to me. But to be fair, I'm trying to keep my private life out of this YouTube channel since, you know, it's like, it's good, you know, it's good to talk about this because if you're one of the boys, then I can tell you everything, right? But if someone from my personal life is watching, like my classmates or something, then it is kind of cringe. So I don't know if I want to talk about these topics maybe in my like courses or paid products where I can actually be like genuinely talking to you, not to people from my personal life. Maybe over here I will be like, you know, more open to speak about stuff like maybe dating, right? Now, getting back to the topic, right, because I got kind of offsided. Now, the whole process of becoming better and attracting better quality women, I guess, might take you much longer than some other person. Now, let me give you an example of this. The whole process of becoming higher value might take Mike much longer than Brandon, because Brandon is a sexy motherfucker, whilst Mike is kind of ugly. Brandon just has better genes. He's much more good looking, right? He's pretty attractive, even without building the body, even without, you know, having a lot of money and spending like, you know, money on jewelry and stuff. He is already pretty attractive, so he just pulls girls just like that. All he does is, let's say, kind of work on his physique, and he can like straight off work as a fucking supermodel, right? Because he has very good genes, but the guy Mike, he has some problems. You see, while the other guy is very attractive just as is, the ugly ass Mike has to work on many other things because he is not attractive, like, you know, naturally. Before he becomes attractive, he has to work on so many other things, right? Life is unfair. That's just the reality. Sorry, bro. Now, I've heard that you can either be attractive in two different ways. This is how you can kind of date as a man, right? At least in today's modern day and age. You can either be good looking or dangerous. Now, whichever one you tend to be, like tend to gravitate towards based on your circumstances, for me, I can say that I'm kind of good looking, so I don't have to be like downright dangerous looking to attract other women. But for some of you that are not genetically gifted, right? You see, you just have to either way pick one that is working for you. I can go for something in the middle, which I can be good looking in some ways, but in some other ways where I lack, let's say, I don't know, maybe confidence or something like that. I can be better in terms of that by being a bit more dangerous, I guess, as a male, which then means that I am able to fight, that I am physically competent, right? Dating, like pretty much any other thing in life, trust me when I say that, is a game where if you're not playing, you're automatically losing the game. Sorry, not sorry, bro. Life is kind of like a race. So if you've been not running, then you're most probably far behind. But if you are like, you know, this ambitious teenager on self-improvement just like me, which has been running for the past 3 years, then you are far ahead of many of the ugly motherfuckers that are behind. I guess that makes sense. If you have been competing to get into the 10% of male beauty, I guess you can say, of like the male dating space, if you've been fighting to get to the top 10% spot on this little list, then you are far ahead of many people. Now, personally, I believe to be in the top 10% of males in the dating market right now, it's actually not that hard. All you have to do is win against the other 90% of men, which are not looks maxing, most probably not going to the gym, not trying very hard. So to get to the 10%, it's actually very simple. What is not so simple is what happens inside of the 10%. Because guess what? Everyone inside is doing the right thing, because how do you think they got there in the first place? They had to work hard for it. So the 10% guys are doing everything right. So to beat the 1% from the 10% to get to the 9% of good looks, it's fucking hard as fuck, bro. Like to get to the 9% or the, you know, 8% or the 7% inside of the sexual marketplace, to have such good SMV, it's actually very fucking hard. Also, one thing I really just wanted to say right now, in terms of being the first guy, like the first guy prototype, which is the good looking guy prototype, it's actually like only looking good can take you pretty far. Like you don't even have to work that hard to get to the top 10% of guys your age, like the, you know, the top 10% of the attractiveness. If you just have good genes, you can, like, you know, not genes as pants, genes as your genetics and stuff, then you you can attract most women your age. But it is hugely dependent on just genetics, right? But for the dangerous, so the dangerous guy prototype, it is actually much harder to be like attractive, since like you don't have the looks, right? So you have to do something else to be attractive, which means that if you want to be the dangerous guy prototype, you have to have your money, you have to have your physique, you have to have your charisma and your confidence, you have to have your good circle of people around you, you have to be attractive in other ways to be attractive towards other females. Even though you look quite dangerous, you look like you can fight, for example, you still have to work on so many other things. So I guess the life of the ugly person is obviously the harder one. Like, you also have to be wealthy and all of these other things to actually be attractive towards females. Like, that's just my simple analysis. Take what you want from it, but I think this is the objective truth, which I think is the best way to look at dating. It is through the objectivity of, are you attractive or are you unattractive? I think it's the best perspective to go about, let's say, rating your attractiveness and how to level up in your attractiveness, especially as a man. Like, women are objectively better looking than males, which is why they're often seen as the prize, you know, the thing we should all be striving for in the relationship, the beautiful women. So sometimes, let me say this, sometimes to be more valuable than her, so that she would want you, is to literally look better than the girl. I know it sounds goofy, but it makes sense. Tell me it doesn't. Like, you get me, right? It makes sense. You know what? Maybe it is the secret why I preach so much self-improvement towards young men. Maybe I'm just a misogynist that wants to devalue women. Who knows? Either way, bro, for the today's sponsor of the video, me. If you're a skinny teenager trying to be more attractive towards other females, one of the best things which you can do right now is to obviously build up your physique. That's exactly why I've made the course on how to build your physique, so you can greatly boost your level of attractiveness and stuff. So if you're interested in that, scroll into the comments or into the description of this video to find the link to the website. Question number 3, which many of you guys on self-improvement like to ask, like the question which often appears in the young men's manosphere: how to find a good girl once you are like high in value? The very short answer from me personally is she will just appear. She will, like the good woman will start to appear in your life. That's how it was for me. Like, they just start to text you. But on the other side, if you're like, I don't know, maybe living outside of Europe, more towards the West, full of feminists and degenerate women, I completely get it, bro, because it's hard to find a girl, a good girl out there. Listen to what Juice WRLD had to say about this.
These hoes are sad.
RIP to the king, though. Well, I'm from Poland, so it is not as hard to find a good girl over here. I'd say that like 70% of the women in here are like not wifeable, which leaves the 30% of other women actually very likable, lovable and wifeable. So if 70% of women are not wifeable over here in Poland, which is actually a pretty religious country, right, in Europe, just fucking imagine how hard it must be for you guys in America watching, or you guys in the UK. I mean, UK is not like that bad, but either way, right? Or is it? I don't fucking know. I have not lived there a second. Like, holy fuck, bro, I'm lucky. I am lucky. Like, many black pill guys often tell you and give you the advice of, if you're living in a pretty bad country, just speaking about dating here, then you can literally move out to some other country which you will appear as, you know, more attractive or something. I guess it makes sense. But for 99% of you watching, the advice is completely unrealistic, since you are most probably not past the age of 18 and you can't move out of your country even if you wanted, like, you know, without your parents' permission or anything like that. And you can't even like provide yourself like a full-time job or some sorts of income, so you can't really do that. It's unrealistic, right? So what my advice is truly for all of you guys in America or anywhere else where it is kind of hard to find yourself a good girl, it is kind of to just become worthy of the small percent of good women in your country through constant self-improvement and self-reflection. What do I have to work on? What am I lacking? What is attractive towards women that I don't have right now? And over time, very slowly, but over time, you start to stop, you know, being invisible towards the good woman. Sometimes it is kind of more like you start to become the target for the women. That's kind of how it was for me. I'm not boasting, bro. It's literally my life. It is literally my life, okay? It's funny how there is so many things to talk about, but like at the end of the day, it all comes down to just constant self-improvement and self-reflection, right? So it means if your position is not ideal right now, change it for better. What do you know, bro? Life is all about constant self-improvement. That is always what I will try to preach towards you. Follow the word of God and trust your instincts, your gut, and what is best for you. Try to always follow that. Focus on constant self-improvement and you will get wherever you want. It all comes down to just get better and you will see your life just get better over time. Point number 4, I guess question number 4, which we have to speak about here. What do I do when I finally meet the girl? When I finally get the girl that I always wanted to have? Like the wifey material, right? Very good question. Just love her, bro. I won't give you any weird red pill tactics of text her this, say to her this, when she looks at you in your eyes, do this. I'm not saying to you any of that bullshit, bro. Just love her, truthfully. There is nothing better you can give her than you. Bro, if she truly loves you, that's all she would ever want. It's you, your warmth, your presence, your kindness and gratefulness and presence. Like I said, bro, this is what she actually wants. And I know all of the materialistic stuff like the money or the status or the success or whatever is highly attractive to the woman, but if she loves you for you, she would date you even if you were broke, to be honest. She would, because she would see the kindness in you. And if she's just dating you for the material success, I'm not saying leave her, but is it really the woman that you want to have? Just answer the question yourself. Your manners and your warmth and your personality, your faith, all of these things, all of the like kind of spiritual things, I guess. Anything that is based around you and your energy is the most important. It's not really the external success, right? Because yeah, like the material success, it is very nice, right? But it will get you the attraction of women, that's for sure. But the women that you will start to attract with all of the material stuff are degenerate women. That's exactly what you don't want to have. So if you become this strong, masculine, warm, God-fearing man, this welcoming person, right, that has a heart full of love, you will see that God will reward you with the right partner and will give you the ability to love her and trust her fully. And I know I'm getting all religious here, but that's exactly what I think. It's all just me. This channel is kind of like my diary, right, where I just say whatever the fuck I want and you maybe learn something from that. Laugh at me all you want, but that's just me, right? Another important concept regarding this exact point is you will see that the people you surround yourself are literally the reflection of you. The people you surround yourself with is exactly just a reflection of who you are. If you are happy, you start to attract more happy people in your life. If you're miserable, you start attracting more miserable people in your life. It's hard for me to speak. See, it kind of goes both ways, right? So choose the better side. That's all I can say, man. So what is your opinion on dating just in general? Maybe leave a comment down below. I'll try to read each and every one of those, and if some comment makes me think more than twice, I will try to heart or maybe even pin it. Send this video to a person who really needs to hear this and stay abnormal, bro.